Alright, what's up, guys? So, Fact Faction has uploaded a video titled 5 Disturbing TikTok Controversies. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Guys, make sure y'all go subscribe to Fact Faction. I just seen that I don't know if it was just recently or maybe some time ago and they hit 1 million subscribers, but congratulations. I'm happy for you guys. And if you haven't already, go subscribe to Fact Faction. Honestly, one of my favorite, one of those, top 10, top 5 type channels. Yeah, just one of those channels where it's like it doesn't matter like how long it's been since I've last reacted to their channel. It's gonna be a channel that I always know of. So, and anytime I do see their videos, I'm like, I gotta check it out. All right, so, but anyways, yeah, let's see some of these TikTok controversies.
Ah, TikTok. Where else are you going to waste several hours mindlessly scrolling to avoid getting your work done? For most of us, TikTok is a fun app that gives us a bit of lighthearted entertainment. However, because we can never have nice things, there is a darker side to this app. Today we'll be looking at 5 disturbing TikTok controversies that might make you think before you scroll.
I wonder, I know, because there was this one guy that was on TikTok where he did these Skyrim videos, and he'd just be like walking all weird and funny and stuff, how like they would in the game. If they talk on that guy, yeah, that story was pretty crazy, but maybe not. But anyways, if they don't, if I remember to, then I will try to tell the story, but towards the end of the video. But if not, then yeah, then it's just it's one of those things. If I don't remember to, then yeah, just look it up. But it was a crazy story.
At the beginning of 2020, TikTok user John Ferry began posting some unusual content under the handle @JohnsBones. Initially, he caught people's eyes by sharing facts about the human skeleton or showing how certain bones and joints interact. Ferry would appear in video after video, holding various skulls or showing off a literal wall of human spines inside his New York City apartment. He also started to sell his collection of human remains through his company, aptly named John's Bones. But it wasn't long before people started to wonder just where all these bones were coming from.
Yeah.
When comments began to accuse Ferry of grave robbing, he took to the internet to set the record straight. But he ended up setting off a firestorm. Ferry was adamant that he did not acquire the bones through any illegal means, and that he had purchased them from private collectors or companies that mostly originated out of China, India, or Russia, claiming that they were all ethically sourced.
Okay, however, but it's like, where did they get them? like it's one thing if it's like, oh, okay, like it's a 3D printer and we just print out like the bones from this like doctor website or whatever. Okay, that's fine. That's chill. That is normal. I would not mind that. But it's like you're telling me, oh yeah, the bones came from you acting like they ain't got graves over there. I'm like, nah, bro. That's just all of a sudden freaking Henry in Russia and freaking Columbus in China. I don't know. Those are just the most random names I can think of. But let's just say, yeah, they going to go visit their loved ones now. Like, oh yeah, by the way, their arm, spine, and head is gone because some guy named Jones Bones or John's Bones is he's doing a TikTok on them. Man, I'm not hearing that.
Ferry had no official documentation to show for his bones, and those who purchased through the John's Bones website get no documentation or history of the remains in their possession. People began to question how Ferry knew his bones were from an ethical source, since he appeared to have no records. It's also worth mentioning that something that is technically legal isn't necessarily ethically or morally okay. Furthermore, as people dug into Ferry's past, it became clear that he had no qualifications whatsoever, having no formal education in osteology, anthropology, or any related field that would make him a reliable expert. His treatment of the bones on his TikTok account turned many stomachs, leading to outcries questioning why he thought it was okay to dress up skeletons, allow his pets to play in their bones, or shove money between their teeth. One TikTok user named WasianBari3 commented, "Those were people, not rocks to collect. Have respect." Others also noted that without proper documentation, these individuals were not being treated in the manner
That's
that their
crazy.
culture or religion might mandate. For example, Muslims are supposed to be buried facing Mecca, and Ferry has no way of knowing which of his many skeletons might have been Muslim during their lives. Though Ferry likes to assert that he is humane and principled, claiming that he only sells his bones to medical students or institutions and that he gives the remains a dignified purpose, there is no proof to back this up.
Yeah,
In fact,
that's just
YouTube
that's
user
a weird thing to get into. It's like, bro, there's the internet. I'm saying, like, the thing is this, how I would have did that is that I'm pretty sure that there's a website where you can go to and you can see like a 3D animation, or you can even create that stuff yourself. But it's like, I just wouldn't want that, because I just look, bro, I feel like you stirring up some stuff. Maybe this is just the black in me kicking in, but I'm like, I feel like you stirring up some stuff amongst those dead people, and next thing you know, you got that in your place of business or the place that you live at, and that's not gonna be good for you. Okay, I didn't watch one too many scary movies to know that's not normal. All right, so
ready to glare, tried to purchase bones from his company's website, hoping that she would run into some kind of wall since she is not a doctor or in the medical or educational field. Unfortunately, it was shockingly easy to do, and she encountered no kind of blockade that would bar her.
$2,000 for some skull heads? That's even more so of a reason why I wouldn't get into no stuff like this. $2,000? Nah, bro, I'm going to Party City and I'm getting a skull head during Halloween. I would not, under any circumstances, pay no $2,000 for no. I just know for a fact that my head is not worth no 2,000. A good, like, on sale and on Black Friday, like under 1,000, okay? But $2,000? That's crazy.
As a private citizen and
That
collector
is crazy.
from buying human remains from John's
Please
Bones.
don't buy it.
There is no regulation or documentation put in place to ensure that a purchaser from John's Bones has an educational intent when purchasing from his business.
Bro, vertebrae.
It is far more likely that Ferry is simply capitalizing off of a corrupt trade that forces destitute families to surrender
That's
their
just a
loved ones'
weird hobby,
bodies
man.
to stave off the financial burden of a proper funeral. He could also have bodies in his possession that came from less than ethical circumstances, like murder or grave robbing, and he would have no idea. So although what Ferry is doing isn't technically illegal in the United States where he resides, it is certainly morally dubious and begs the question, would his business be as profitable if it weren't for his TikTok presence and over 500,000 followers?
Yeah, because people are probably like, bruh, this man just out here showing skulls and bones and all that stuff. Like, nah, that's crazy. That's on some stuff where it's like, nah, if let's just say if an investigation starts up of this guy and let FBI, whoever, and they, confiscate all this stuff, and then it's linked to all these different crimes, I honestly feel like that this guy, like, I'm not going to say that he has something to do with it, but I just think that it's just a little weird. I'm like there's literally 3D printers. There's all these different things that you can invest in and buy where you can print out that stuff. And I'm like, it's weird, man. It's a weird thing. I'm still tripping off of the fact that a skull costs $2,000. Like, that's weird, man.
In 2019, a 25-year-old named John Robert Bell joined
25?
TikTok under the username.
He's 25. I'm a year older than him. Like, honestly though, be honest. Do I look older or does he look older? Because I could just see right now that he looks older. He looks older than me. Like that. He looked like he's like 43 and he works for the FBI.
Names @JoeRobe and @JoeRobeIRL. He gained traction by posting politically correct commentary videos and stating that his main goal was to make the internet a safe place for young people.
This type of public humiliation and outright rejection of identity is all too common in the transgender community. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
By 2021, he had almost 6 million followers between his 2 TikTok accounts. However, controversy exploded in the summer of 2021 when 17-year-old Dylan, known as @DillG16 on TikTok, posted a video to the app claiming that Bell was the biggest hypocrite he'd ever met. He then went on to detail how Bell used TikTok to connect with him initially, leveraging his popularity on social media as a way to groom Dylan,
That's
a minor
crazy.
10 years his junior. Bell joined one of Dylan's live streams and asked for his Snapchat, which he readily gave him, and the pair struck up a conversation on the app for several weeks.
Like, look, that's why I just my advice to anybody out there, if a content creator hits you up and you're under the age, block them, screenshot it, all right, in case if some stuff goes down, but block them, do not engage whatsoever to that individual under any circumstances. If it's not in a professional environment, like if it's the comment sections and it's just a little exchange of like, okay, for an example, if I post a video talking on some shoes and you're all like, oh man, those are some nice shoes, I'm like, if we just get into a conversation just talking about shoes, okay, cool. But if I'm asking for your like personal information, like, oh, what's your address? It's one thing you ask a person like, oh, like, where do you live? If you say Seattle, Washington, okay, that's cool, that's chill. If it starts leading into addresses, oh, what's the color of your house? What street do you live on? What's your Snapchat, your phone number, all this other stuff? Me personally, think that stuff is kind of weird, all right? So that's why I just think that, yeah, it's personal information like that, where it's just do not give that out under any circumstances, even if that is your all-time favorite content creator. Like they ask to hang out, public areas, the mall, a McDonald's, somewhere where there's like, okay, there is people, in case some stuff goes down, I can yell out for help, all right? So but other than that, there should just be no other reason of just, it's weird, man. It's weird.
Dylan then invited Bell to a daily Zoom call that he held with his other TikTok friends, all aged between 15 and 19, and Bell accepted. After about a week of attending this Zoom call, Bell asked Dylan to get an Airbnb with him once he turned 18, and even promised to supply alcohol if he agreed to go. Initially, Dylan was excited by the proposition, but grew increasingly uncomfortable when it became clear that no one else was invited. Bell continued to send him listings for one-bedroom Airbnbs until Dylan began flat-out ignoring his advances. He also encouraged Dylan to set up an OnlyFans account when he turned 18, offering to set it up for him and become a subscriber once it was live. Bell strove to isolate Dylan from his friends, claiming that he was the only person Dylan could trust, leading Dylan to not speak to his friend group for about 4 months. Dylan also alleges that he was not the only young man that Bell has attempted to groom. In fact, within Dylan's weekly Zoom calls with his teen TikTok friends, Bell apparently had all the boys take a BDSM quiz and share their results with him. YouTube user Papa Gut has also claimed that multiple boys have reached out to him detailing Bell's predatory behavior, and he has a Google document from these young men that lists Bell's multiple offenses towards them.
That's grooming. They didn't even realize how honestly bad this whole situation was while we were talking.
Shortly after the accusations against him went viral, Bell's TikTok accounts went private and then disappeared. It's unknown whether or not Bell was banned or if he took them down voluntarily. Furthermore, at this time, all of these allegations are...
somebody like him, he needs to get caught, because it's like, okay, he just figure, all right, well, I'll just have to try to... Something like that you can't just escape from, or it's like, he has to get caught and arrested on some stuff like that, because that's just weird, bro.
Unverified, but the behavior described by both Dylan and others is certainly troubling. Regardless, if the allegations turn out to be true or false, it's a good reminder that the people we think we know online are still only strangers.
Facts. I'm like, I don't even want people to look. That's why I tell people, I'm like, look, don't even look at me as like no king or a god. I'm like, just look at me as an average person. I'm here to make content. I am here to entertain people. I feel like a lot of content creators that do stuff like this forget, like, that's the only reason why you should be in the content creating world, is to create content and to entertain your audience. If you are there for other reasons, then it's like, I think you need to make those reasons clear. But other than that, but if it's stuff dark like this where it's like, nah, bro, you just should not be on the internet, you need to go seek out help. All right, that's what you need to be doing. That's crazy. There was another TikToker I remember that kind of like he got caught up in some like stuff like this, and yeah, it was like he posted a lot of different videos. I don't know, maybe they might talk on him, maybe they won't, but anyways,
In
stumbling
June
on a
of
crime scene.
2020,
Oh,
a
that's
group of
crazy.
teens decided to spend their day adventuring around their home city of Seattle. Using the app Randonautica, which
Oh, I
generates random
remember
geographical
this.
coordinates within a certain radius set by the user, the kids found themselves at Alki Beach in the western portion of the city.
Yeah.
Whipping out their phones, they began filming the experience for TikTok, and their discovery was later
Yeah.
posted on the app under the username @UgHenry. The gang spotted a black suitcase on the rocks below them, and
That's
joking that it
crazy.
might contain money, a couple of the teens clambered down to check it out. Upon opening the bag, a horrible stench wafted out, with the teen boy behind the camera remarking,
It stinks, y'all.
one of the girls lifted the lid of the suitcase with a stick and was only able to see black trash bags. At this point, the group was disturbed by the smell and the mysterious nature of the luggage, so they opted to call the police instead of proceeding any further. The kids' worst suspicions were later confirmed when the suitcase and a smaller duffel bag discovered nearby were found to contain 2 sets of human remains.
That's
Later
crazy.
identified as 27-year-old Austin Winter and 35-year-old Jessica Lewis, the couple had been beaten, shot, and dismembered roughly 2 weeks before they were discovered by the teens. 2 months after the gruesome discovery, an arrest was made. Austin and Jessica's landlord, 62-year-old Michael Lee
I never
Dudley,
knew. After I heard that case, I don't know. I didn't really follow it as much, but dang, their own land? That's crazy.
was charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. Apparently, the landlord was angry with the couple over late rent payments and bringing criminal activity onto his property. The nature of
it's
this
like, don't
activity
kill her.
remains unclear, as does the amount of rent that Austin and Jessica may or may not have owed Dudley. He remains in jail with his bail set
Yeah.
at $5 million.
That guy is crazy.
The way that Dudley disposed of Austin and Jessica's remains is horrifying, and though their killer can now be brought to justice, it remains equally distressing that they were discovered by a group of young people just out having fun.
That's crazy. It's like I had some friends where they had downloaded that app and they went out to an area and it kind of had me worried because I was like, that's just not something to fool around with. I'm like, nah. Like, after that, I was like, nah, man, you can't trust nobody. It's crazy to kill, your, tenants over, like, cause this happened, like, yeah, in the height of the pandemic where it was, people was losing their jobs and all that stuff. Now, the criminal activities and all that, bro, you should have called the cops. But it's like, but on the rent stuff, it's like, bro, if they lost their jobs, it's like, bro, a lot of people wasn't paying rent, so yeah, it's one of those things where it's like how that went around it and stuff. Yeah, that guy he had some sort of mental issues to kill them 2 people like that. Nah, that's crazy. It's like you had a lot more in you and stuff other than the reasons that he laid out. It's like, nah, bro, there is something else going on. But anyways, did all that. Oh, I think I remember this
story
one.
Isn't the only example of unsuspecting teens stumbling upon human remains. This case, however, is a little more macabre. In July of 2021, then 17-year-old Bethany Martin and her unnamed 16-year-old friend were out walking in southwest Bexar County, Texas, near the city of San Antonio. The pair came across the body of a 25-year-old man lying in a drainage ditch. Martin then began to film the situation, uploading it to her Snapchat account. Her Snapchat footage showed Martin approaching the man's corpse and removing his necklace.
That's crazy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Martin separated the pendant from the chain and threw the chain into a nearby patch of grass. She then handed the ornament to her younger friend, who placed it on her own gold chain to wear. The videos eventually found their way to the Bexar County Sheriff's Office through an anonymous source,
crazy.
and both teens were apprehended by the authorities and charged with felony theft from a human corpse. Less detail is known about the 16-year-old accomplice since she is a minor, but Martin's bail was set at $2,000, which her family later paid to have her released. Javier Salazar, a sheriff in Bexar County, was haunted by the footage, remarking,
Yeah, because it's like, fam, that doesn't. I'm just saying, like me, bro. I've gotten startled by like dead freaking roadkill, like animals and stuff. That like, nah, bro. I don't know how something like. The thing is this though, where it's like, yeah, at the initial moment they're having fun doing their TikToks, they Snapchats, all that stuff. It's gonna be like years down, because I feel like people like them, they haven't really experienced death too much. And maybe they have, but it just hadn't hit them like how it hits most people. But yeah, it's stuff like that where it's like it may not affect them now, but as the time progresses on, if not already right now, it's gonna start affecting them, and it's gonna hit them 10 times harder that they did that to somebody. Because I guarantee and promise you, if that had been their dead relative, and then they see them all on Snapchat, TikTok, social media, all that stuff, they had some things to say about that. So yeah, there's people out here, man, that's crazy.
it was disturbing because they're laughing, treating it as a joke. Salazar later stated that if it hadn't been captured on video, he wouldn't have believed the story. Before her arrest, Martin uploaded 2 videos to TikTok referencing the event, although they didn't show footage of the body like her Snapchat video had. The deceased man was later identified as Marcus Adams, and his cause of death was eventually ruled as. The gold pendant removed from his neck by the girls was returned to the parents, and the family set up a GoFundMe to help offset the costs of the funeral. Devastated by his death and especially hurt by the disrespectful and troubling way the teens treated his son's body, Adams' father, Marcus Adams Sr., said in a statement to the press, "It's bad enough to steal from the living, but to steal from the dead? He's helpless. He's no longer here. He couldn't fight back." As of 2022, not many updates are available, but it seems that Martin has been indicted on the charges she was initially facing.
I don't know about that one, man. It's one of those things. I think that's supposed to be the younger girl or whoever, but that's something where it's like I said, when you experience death in your family or friend group, whoever, and then you see their face, like, because I feel like it's like that with anybody, even if you're not stealing from them. But the fact that somebody wants to be there with a camera all in that person's face while they're dead, it's like, you have to understand, it's like you gotta be more respectful towards people and stuff, dead or alive. You have to be respectful towards them. And it's crazy to me, just, like how social media, like, that's why, like, look, that's why I did that video the other day where I'm like, look, bruh, social media ain't all that. Like, to these teenagers out here, look, social media is not all that. Recording videos, all that stuff, go, like, look, growing up, I know people gonna probably be asking me, like, what did you do growing up? I play video games. I played single player video games. I survived without having to talk to the outside world. And then if I did need to go to the outside world, bro, I'd go out to my friend's house. We would hang out, talk about whatever, crack jokes, laugh, have fun, freaking ride our bikes up and down the street. I'm saying, like, bro, I was a kid growing up, all right? But it's just now, like, how you see it, like, yeah, I may be coming off as an old head, talking about this stuff, but it's crazy to me, like, how, kids be carrying on. I'm like, bro, what do y'all got going on? I'm like, look, y'all got to start reevaluating your life. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in your 20s sitting down looking like, how come I haven't accomplished nothing? So I'm saying, like, it's just, but, get back to that social media stuff. It's like, y'all gotta let that stuff go. It's not all that. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys that if you're just now getting into social media, it's not all that. All right, there's nothing on social media, or there's anything on social media. It's stuff that you can live without. All right, so, but anyways.
In April 2021, friends and family of 45-year-old Daniel Halseth of Las Vegas, Nevada, became concerned when he failed to respond to their calls and texts. His mother reached out to her granddaughter, Sierra, by text, asking her where her father might be. Sierra responded that all was well, and that his phone was simply acting up. But the unnerving silence from Daniel continued. Eventually, he was discovered by Las Vegas police dead in the garage of his own home. He had been stabbed upwards of 70 times,
Wow.
shoved into a sleeping bag, and then set on fire. The authorities didn't have to look too far for a culprit. His 16-year-old daughter, Sierra, and her 18-year-old boyfriend, Aaron Guerrero, left behind a mountain of evidence that included a taped TikTok confession. The two can be seen laying on the floor of what appears to be a tent, giggling and making light of the situation.
I don't know what to say.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Wow! Don't put that on the camera.
Wow.
It was worth it.
People really be letting that, like, look, the thing is this. You know, I think if it were, and I don't know, I guess I'm just more so speaking from, like, I've had a close relationship with my parents. I love both of them equally, and there's nobody in this world that can, like, come between me and my parents. Like, and that's something where it's like, I sat down and I've thought about it. I would literally die for these guys. They brought me into, the thing is this, it may be that old saying where it's like, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. They brought me into this world. I do not mind getting taken out for them. Those are my parents. So, again, there's nothing in this world, okay? Nothing. There ain't no amounts of money, whatever. It's like, and just to see how, like, quick a kid is to taking their parents' life on some dumb stuff, bro, it saddens me. It really does. And I'm like, man, it's stuff like that where it's like, you know, if there's some people, because it's like, I want to have kids one day. I really do. All right. But it's like, I guess I can understand, like, if there's people out there in this world that don't want to have kids, and it's probably stuff like this that they see that prevents them from wanting to have kids. I understand that now. But yeah, that's just sad. And, you know, to just be sit up, laid out, laughing it up and things, like, that's crazy.
So, yeah.
And you know it's most likely the boyfriend. It's like, that's the thing where it's like, I know if the day, you know, if I get, like, heavily involved in, you know, some, you know, in a relationship with some girl, I'm like, if she, like, says some stuff like, oh, I love you more than my own parents, I'm like, look, you gotta work some things out with your parents, all right? It's like, I don't want you to come to me. Like, if it's one of those things where it's like her parents are like, I don't want you with this guy, I'm like, I'm not going to come between you guys. I'm like, if we can sit down and work things out, cool. But if not, it's like, look, you guys are a family. I'm not a part of this family. Blood, marriage, none of that. So I'm like, and I don't want her to look, and I'm like, yeah, that's just on some stuff where it's like, there's obviously things that you guys got to work out before I get in the picture and stuff. So I'm gonna back up. But yeah, it's just, you know, a girl like that, easily manipulated, you know, believed her boyfriend over her own, like, parent and stuff. And yeah, it's somebody like that where it's like, you know, not fully developed up there.
Aside from the TikTok video that was widely circulated, the teens were also caught on security cameras purchasing saws, bleach, and drop cloths before Daniel's murder.
That's
and Sierra
crazy.
was caught on an ATM camera using her father's debit card after his demise. Apparently, Sierra and her boyfriend had planned to run away to Los Angeles together towards the end of 2020. But when both teens' parents uncovered their plans, they forbade them from seeing each other. Figuring they had no other way to be together, the pair concocted a plan to kill Sierra's father. The teens were charged with murder, conspiracy, arson, robbery, and fraudulent use of a credit card. Though Sierra is being charged as an adult, neither will face the death penalty. At this time, both have pleaded not guilty to the charges filed, and there are no further updates as of now. Sure, sometimes TikTok can make you do crazy things.
I hope they get
but in
life
this
in
case,
prison.
it seems like TikTok actually helped to catch a pair of cold-blooded killers.
Day 3 after murdering somebody.
Wow! Don't put that on the camera.
It was worth it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, what did you think of these 5 controversies?
I was about to say that, like, that timer thing. I was like, bro, last looked, it was like, it was towards the end. I'm like, what you mean I got all this time left? I was like, I'm trying to make me something to eat.
Is there a TikTok scandal that we missed? Drop it in the comments below. As always,
I could definitely see a
thanks
part
for
2
watching.
getting made of this video. Because I was like, there is the, well, wait, all right, so wait a minute. What was the one that I said in the beginning? Bro, how did I forget? I'm trying to think. Dang, what was I going to talk on? I straight up forgot, like, what I was going to talk on and stuff. But, dang, man. All right, well. Anyways, like I said, look it up and things. But all that stuff, it got my mind all over the place. I'm like, dang, bro, some crazy people out there. But anyways, oh, no, that's what it was, the Skyrim thing. So anyways, yeah, so the guy had, so pretty much, like, he did these videos where he act like he was playing, or he was like a character from Skyrim. And then I guess, like, him and his girlfriend, they just, you know, or wife, I think, they were separating. He didn't want to accept that. And I think he ended up killing her. And I felt like Fact Faction, they could tell the story better, because I'm just going based off of what I overall remembered from when I last heard of that story. But, yeah, I was like, man, there's just some people out there on TikTok where they did some crazy stuff, man. But TikTok, it's crazy. I'm telling you right now, if there's a time where TikTok does get shut down because of all the, like, craziness that doesn't happen, hey, I'm just saying, I'm like, it's a lot has been going on TikTok. But anyways, but yeah, guys, make sure if you haven't, go subscribe to Fact Faction, like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.